Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
97.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News. Coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sammy Wiafi, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
The police service, henceforth, desist from the Rambo-style arrest. It doesn't order well for our democracy.
Hundreds of MPP supporters hit the street of Accra to protest what they call intimidation, harassment, and selective justice meted out to its leaders. Also coming up on Eyewitness News. Anger and frustration as hundreds of parents and students besiege the Nat Hall here in Accra over the school placement system. Tonight, we hear from the Education Ministry on how to address the concerns. And later on Eyewitness News, President John Dramani Mahama nominates Justice Paul Bafo-Bonning as the new Chief Justice of the Republic. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. Later coming up in business.
ECOWAS reviews 0.5% community levy amid revenue decline.
Eyewitness News is live on affiliates across the country, around the globe. We're on citynewsroom.com talking about affiliates. If you are in the Upper West region, you can hear us on Tumpani Radio 88.5 FM in Adoli, as well as Jirapa 86.1 FM. In the Upper East region, we are live on Recast 92.1 FM. In the Northern region, we are live on North Star Radio 92.1 FM. In the Northeast region, we are live on Nobia 98.1 FM. As well as the Western region, we are live on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takoradi. In the Ashanti region, hear us on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, as well as Orange 107.9 FM, also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are live on Salat Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala and Holy FM 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Savannah region, we are live on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damago. You can join the conversation with your WhatsApp message. The number is 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Eno has a first story.
The youth of the New Patriotic Party have warned the Ghana Police Service against what they describe as harassment of party functionaries through arrests, detentions, and harsh bail conditions. At the Yensro Hunehuna protest in Accra, the group led by National Youth Organizer Salam Mustafa marched to the police headquarters to present a petition to the IGP. He later delivered a copy of the petition to the presidency, stressing the party's resolve to resist intimidation.
IGP, before you is a petition signed by the Secretary of the New Patriotic Party on the threat on the life of the minority leader, Afenyo Markin, my boss here, the national organizer, Nana B, and the minority chief whip, Honorable Adodopre. Nothing has happened to Wahab, who is the constituency communication officer in the Wakano. Also, we saw Chairman Azoka live video during the Apetia by-election, assaulting our national chairman. With all due respect, we saw a statement that Chairman Azoka.
You heard the National Youth Organizer of the NPP, Salam Mustafa.
Thankfully now, Salam Mustafa has joined us on the telephone line to tell us more about today's demonstration and the intent of it. Mustafa, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Salam. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Can you hear me, Salam?
I can hear you.
First of all, let me find out from you. How was today's demonstration?
Thank you, and good evening to your listeners. Your reporters were there and saw start to finish and can report to you that indeed it was a mega showing that we had today, all the way from Opera Sport to the police headquarters, then to the Jubilee House finally, where the last petition was dropped. I am overly excited with what we are able to achieve as a youth wing today.
In your petition, you asked the IGP to stop what you describe as a Rambo-style arrest of individuals known to be members of...
Rambo-style midnight arrest.
Yes. What exactly do you mean?
The pattern we have seen over the period, it's the security people going into people's homes late in the night, breaking down doors, and arresting people. In the case of our former Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer, Moses Abo, you saw the video when security officers went in search of a Abronye, and policemen jumping his wall into his house. That cannot be right. That cannot be right. And these are the things we are pointing to the IGP, that his men are overdoing things and that he needs to call them to order. And to a large extent, also, this Rambo-style arrest is endangering the lives of citizens. And I did give a scenario where our Bono East Regional Chairman lost his brother because police officers broke into the house and shot his brother right in front of them. And these things have happened over the period. So Obama's door was broken down. And these things cannot continue in the way that they flagrantly destroy people's properties in the name of arrest, when we can easily, put a phone call and ask the people to report, and they will report. So, in building a modern day society, certainly this Rambo-style arrest cannot continue, and that's why we have put it down in our demands that they should re-examine their modus operandi and ensure that some of these things are put, in the dustbin, that they are obsolete and do not reflect modern day policing. So that's why we demand that from IGP and the entire police force, and also the security, other security agencies, that we write that have been weaponized to harass and intimidate NPP people.
In your petition, you make a number of demands, and I'll read the first one. You say President Mahama and the NDC government should put an end to the immediate ongoing political harassment of our members, meaning the MPP members. Do you think what is going on is political harassment? Is it not accountability,
Absolutely.
demand for accountability?
We do not shy away from accountability. We're a party of rule of law. If people have issues, let the law work. Take them to court and let them have their day. That's how a civil society works. But where you're hounding them, you're touting them, you are harassing them, you are persecuting them, then you change the entire scenario of the case to a case of political witch hunting, which we find it difficult to accept. But for the law taking its course, that we do not have any challenge with. At the end of the day, everybody must account for his stewardship. But where they go breaking down doors, harassing people, and we give classical examples in the petition. I don't know, maybe for the want of time, if you want, I can, take you through some of the things that national security the police they have done over the period, the arrest of Okatachi Afifa Mensah when he just went and wrote an exam and was leaving campus, and he was accosted on the road and taken by force, to jail. Gordon Asaribedi upon same, and Obama and co-fancy comedy, TikTokers. It is a pattern, and you cannot fail but to see that there's some weaponization of these agencies, and it is targeted to NPP people, and that's why we think that as a party we cannot just sit down. And for me, as a youth leader, a lot of my members are under attack. Most of the people that they have gone after are really young people, 26, 24-year-old girls from Kumasi were arrested and kept, in police custody for 96 hours before taken to court. Fancy Comedy and Co. Adenta Kumi, Amadou Zakor, Okatachi Afifa Mensah himself, a young person. Maybe the only person who is out of the youth wing, Chairman Ablonye and Chairman Wuntmi. These are the only people who are out of the youth wing. Hanan, former Stock CEO who was arrested and onerous bail condition put on him, is a member of my youth wing. So as a leader, I cannot sit down and watch my people being harassed in the fashion that this government has adopted. And that's why we have hit the street to drum home the point that we can do things better. And that His Excellency the President should charge his security agencies to treat all of us same and not segregate us as some being first-class citizens and others being less, as we are seeing the trajectory take place. That when you are NPP person, you are molested. When you are NDC person, you can do essentially anything and get away with it. We think that is not an equitable society, and any society that is not premised on equity, I think, will fail.
In one of your demands, you say that there's more or less like an attack on free speech. But there are others who also say that freedom of expression also comes with responsibility. And so if your members, the people you consider to be members, go on TikTok and Facebook and run insults and make unprintable languages on individuals, you don't think they should be investigated for making those comments?
I will repeat again. We do not have issues with people being put before the law. Do it in the right manner. If I say things about you and kind things about you and you are unhappy with what I have said, sue me for defamation or whatever the law prescribes. That's why we are a country of rule of law. We have laws prescribed for every single situation. So why do we break them? Why do you arrest someone and hold the person for 96 hours before putting the person before court? When the constitution of this country, the supreme law of the land, gives a caveat of 48 hours that you cannot go beyond that threshold. Some people break it flagrant with total disrespect, impunity. But that cannot be. But NDC people are treated with kid gloves. All right? We saw the guys who went to misbehave in Ablekumanov. Those guys were treated with kid gloves. They were essentially left off the hook. We didn't see the Rambo style arrest and all that. They were treated like heroes.
But they went to court, and a court of competent jurisdiction convicted them.
I haven't seen any video of them in court.
But at least the police told us that, and we saw same.
Well, if you believe them, that is fine. I do not, because if it's NPP people, there's evidence of NPP people going to court. But there's not any evidence of these so-called NDC people going to court. And this is the inequality we decry. This is the selective justice we are talking about. This is selective application of the law we are talking about. And I'm happy that some of these questions you are asking clearly brings out the insincerity in our society, in our system. That is essentially destroying the democracy that we're all trying to build. And that is why we are putting it before His Excellency the President that act now, so that we build a just, fair society that works for all of us.
government must be protecting the citizens and working for all of us because we pay taxes to run the state. Today, there's growing insecurity in Ghana. Everywhere you go, trouble is rearing its ugly head. The institutions of state should rather be weaponized to deal with decisively with these issues of insecurity and not misdemeanors because people are having conversation on TikTok. So, hey, when I write them, is that how to use scarce resources? No, I don't think so. And I think that the earlier we nip this thing in the bud, the better for all of us.
Salam, finally, before I let you go, in your demands, number 3, you said that the police should act on our petition and provide an update on the so-called arrest of Chairman Azoka, including details of his charges, bail condition, and the date of his court hearing.
They did not arrest Chairman Azoka. They did not.
But we saw a statement issued by the police announcing that he was arrested, granted bail, that he will be arraigned before court.
Days before that statement came out, I saw Chairman Azoka in Tamale. The MDC had parliamentary primaries to select a parliamentary candidate to replace the late Honorable Mutala in Tamale Central. And Chairman Azoka was there. And immediately the police released that particular, circular or, press release or whatever it was. Hours after that, Chairman Azoka posted a video of, himself sitting with his boys at his base in Tamale, which I know very well, laughing. And essentially, they were laughing at the police. Saying, look at these people. I am here, you are telling me that you have arrested me. You can really arrest me, Chairman Azoka. That is the message behind what, is being done. So, let's put this charade aside. There should be fair and equitable disposition in carrying out, duties of state. And I think that fairness and equity will create the kind of society that we are. But immediately you create an imbalance, then you are creating a problem.
Salam, thank you very much for your time. Salam Mustafa is the National Youth Organizer of the New Patriotic Party. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. If you know these sounds, you didn't just live through the 90s. You lived the experience. Back then, connection took minutes. Today, it takes a blink. You express yourself with memes. You hold video calls across continents. You say hey to an AI who responds,
"Hello, Kwame."
You order rides, dinner, and dreams all from the palm of your hand. A lot has changed, so have we. For over 3 decades, EcoBank has evolved with you, leading digital banking in Ghana and across 33 African countries, pioneering solutions built around how you live, move, and dream today. From our Express Points to EcoBank Pay, online banking, and the mobile app, we are where you are. Here for today, ready for tomorrow. Now, that's change, powered by EcoBank.
EcoBank, a better way to bank your way. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Luck is everywhere.
year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
A message from the Ministry of Education. It's time for the computerized school placement for senior high schools and technical vocational training schools. This process will run in September 2025. Remember, securing a school placement for your child is absolutely free. Please do not pay money to anyone, whether a ministry official or a third party, for this service. If you encounter a person asking for money, report them immediately to the Ghana Police Service or the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP. You can also reach out to the CSSPS Secretariat on this call number 0541 548 223. You can also WhatsApp 0244 908 957. Your cooperation helps us ensure a fair process for every student.
Ah, Ma, have you received the delivery?
See on the rider's bay. Send in a momo.
Okay, *176.
Ah, Paco, don't you use a smartphone? Use a momo app, ne?
Huh? Abba app.
Hey, I want to say a millennium, say millennial. Inim. Oh, millennium for ya nyaze. Switch to the app. Why you smart? I know you secure.
Enter a world of possibilities with the Momo app. Pay your favorite merchant, pay utility bills, and borrow from our wide range of lending services. Move to the app side today. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. And I'll have some more stories.
Hundreds of parents and their wards today gathered at the Nat Hall in Accra to raise concerns over the 2025 BECE school placement results. While some are dissatisfied with the schools their children have been assigned to, others are protesting placements in day schools outside their regions. Some parents who spoke to Citi News appealed to authorities to address the matter urgently.
Instead of a boarding school, they gave him day. And the school is far away from Accra. I mean, in the Volta region. So, I mean, you can see the discrepancies. So, I'm here to make sure that it's changed from day to boarding and possibly to have the school in Accra. Because I'm a single parent and I cannot be trekking between here and the Volta region. That is the very reason why I'm here. I've been here since 6 a.m. But the queue here is something else. And anytime there's placement, I mean, you come to meet this kind of situation, and it is not fair. I mean, it is not right.
The one thing is, he had grade of 18, but they placed at Xavier Senior High School. So I came and made a change of school. That's why I'm here. People over here too much over here, so I will leave and go and know what to do, because the people inside the room is more than those we are outside over here. So I don't think I may get inside and do this for my sister, so I'll just leave and go. And what I want to tell the government is they should do something better. Whether it may be the district or even the circuit, we'll be very, very happy, because people have traveled for a long way to this particular place.
You heard some parents who are appealing to authorities to address issues with the 2025 BECE school placement results.
Let's go to the phone line and speak to the Media Relations Officer at the Ministry of Education, Hashmi Mohammed, on this development. Hashmi, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Hello, Hashmi.
Good evening, and thanks for having me.
Thank you very much once again. Hashmi, just a quick one. I will take you to citynewsroom.com on this same issue. In 2018, it says parents mass up at GES Complaint Center over SHS placement challenges. In 2019, same citynewsroom.com, it says Accra parents frustrated over school placement system. 2022, a similar story on citynewsroom.com. Parents, students anxious as concerns with SHS placement remain unresolved. 2023, the same issue. 2024, and this year 2025, we are still experiencing the same challenge. What seems to be the problem that we are unable to resolve this matter?
Well, there's a high demand by parents, guardians to have their wards in Category A schools. And Category A schools are very limited, with limited vacancy. And you realize that because a lot of parents and the students themselves wants to be in the Achimotes, the Presec, there are limited vacancies there. And there are some students too. Yes, we appreciate the fact that they have scored higher grades, but unfortunately have not been able to meet the criteria for the Category A schools. It is possible for a student to score higher grades, but will end up not being able to be placed in Category A school, depending on the vacancy and then the competition level in that particular course. So when that happens, you are most likely to move to Category B. And whilst moving to Category B, it is important that students and parents take into consideration that, or take notice that the Category B that you are moving to, that is another student Category B. And that at that level too, it is also based on whether there is vacancy there. Because as at the time you fail in Category A and you are moving to your second choice, that is a Category B, it is dependent whether there is still vacancy in that Category B. If you fail to meet it, then you are moved to Category C in that order. So there are some students, because they have scored higher grade and are unable to be placed in Category A school, when that happens, a lot of them do flood the resolution center with the concern that they have scored higher grades, they should be in Category A schools. And those are the issues that are emerging at the resolution center. And the Ministry of Education and its implementing agencies like the GES are taking the concerns of the students and then the parents and guardians who have been to the resolution center, and that information that has been gathered is being processed by the CSSPS Secretariat. The genuine ones will be addressed, and there are some too that will be very difficult to be addressed.
So Hashmi, you mean that majority of the parents and students who are at the Nat Hall as we speak are there because they are all looking for opportunity to be in Category A schools?
Yes, based on the data we have received from the Resolution Center, we've had more than 1,000 reported cases, and about 76% of the requests involve students who want to move from Category C or B to Category A. Some of them have been explained to, and then they are getting the understanding. And there are some too, well, they just want to be in Category A school.
Even though they didn't make the mark, they still want to be in this category of schools?
Exactly.
I see. So I explained to a parent who is listening to us and says that, okay, my child made the grade and then got the school that he or she chose, but then got to the place and realized that there's no vacancy, because you mentioned that these ones are also based on the vacancy in the Category A schools. And so if there are no vacancies in these Category A schools, as you mentioned, what can the ministry do even though the child passed the exam and has the needed mark?
Well, let me reiterate that again. Because there are limited vacancies, the ministry would have loved to accommodate all students in category A schools. But unfortunately, there are limited vacancies in those schools. And because there are limited vacancies in those schools, it becomes very, very competitive. Even in the old system, for you to get Achimota, the PRESEC, you need to be able to perform well. For instance, the portal takes into consideration the raw score of each and every student. And when it gets to a point that the school is full up, the system automatically have a cut-off point where they will cut people who are very qualified but have not been able to meet the competition in that particular school.
So, in instance where the category B and C schools are available, is the ministry able to convince the other parents who line up at the NATO to take those options available?
Yes, we are doing that. It has been very challenging, but we are doing that. And some to depending on whether there are still vacancies. There are still a lot of category B and C schools which are very, very good, and they are doing very, very well. Maybe moving forward, there should be an opportunity for the schools themselves to brand themselves, because like I told you, the ministry appreciates the fact that the majority of parents wants to have their wards in category A schools.
Ashmi, how do you react to people who say that because this system is not working, we should consider going back to the old system, where the students will choose their own schools, and when the results are released, they will go to the schools that they chose to go and find out if they had admissions in these schools?
Well, the CSSPS system is evolving, and once it is evolving, I want to believe that policy makers at the higher authority will be assessing it, and if there is the need for that, I think policy makers will look into that. But for now, this is the system we have, and we must all work together to make the system work and work effectively.
I agree with you when you say that the system is evolving, but then since 2018, and we are in 2025, we are still recording, experiencing the same challenges that we had in 2018. And in 2024, we are still experiencing the thing. How do you react to people who say that indeed it's revolving, but still is the same old issue?
Well, I think the system itself, I do not see any issues with the system itself. Maybe going forward, what we can do as a country should be improving infrastructure across board and then making all our schools very, very competitive. And that is the step that this government has taken into consideration by proposing in the 2020 next year budget to invest hugely in ending the double track system. When that is done, then we can have a lot of spaces even in the category A, B, and C schools, and it will not affect quality education. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that any policy decision should not affect quality education, and that is the priority of government.
Hashmi, finally, before I let you go, for a parent who is listening to you and has been at the Nat Hall queuing all day, what can you tell such a parent?
Well, we appreciate their concerns, and we are facilitating and speeding up their concerns. And I can, on behalf of the ministry, I can assure them that all their concerns will be attended to. The data has been picked from the Resolution Center, and it has been brought to the CSSPS Secretariat, and they are working on it.
Hashmi, thank you very much for your time. Hashmi Mohammed is the Media Relations Officer at the Ministry of Education. Let's go to the other line and speak to Dr. Peter Anti. He's the Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies. So speak to us on this matter. Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, Sammy, and it's my pleasure.
From 2018 and from Citi Newsroom, We recorded these incidents 2018, 2019, 2022, 2023, 2024, and this year, 2025. What are we getting wrong?
Thank you once again. Sammy, before I try to answer your question, I want to say that our leaders don't solve problems. In this part of the world, in this country, we elect people, we put people in certain positions, and they don't solve problems. Because if you look at what you are even listing, it means that this thing has been with us, like most of our problems in the country. They always happen every year, and we will come back and try to explain this issue to the people. And then the following year, we have this. School placement is not something that is an emergency. No, that as they are doing this, next year around this time, we are going to have school placement. So what do our leaders do? What plans do they put in place to be able to think through and see that this is the situation that happened last year? We are going to work to ensure that we are not going to experience the same thing this year. We don't do that in this country, and that is the truth. I think what we are not doing right is about 2 or 3 things. The first one is that I don't still understand the reason why students are made to select schools before they write the exams. The problem is that people are seen as very good students, and all of us, you have kids, their performance in school normally seems to suggest that they are very good. But writing an examination is a different ball game altogether. So with that expectation and aspiration, we select good schools for our students. We want our students to be in the Fancy Pins, we want our students to be in the Pre-Sec, Wesley Girls, and so on and so forth. But then when they go and write the exam, their rare performance is shown. By that time, they have already selected a school. So that child who has selected Fancy Pin as number 1, has selected, let's say, Agri as number 2, National as number 3, will miss out on all these 3 schools and will end up in a school that he just put there because he's supposed to choose one school around. And that is the problem. So I don't know why the ministry, we have been doing this, we have been going through this process over the years, and we are doing the same thing, and the same problem keeps coming up. Why is the ministry not trying to do other things? Do something else by asking the students to select the schools after the results have been released. People will talk about the delay in the results and everything. It's about planning. If we are able to, if students are selecting schools based on their performance, you will know that they will be a little bit circumspect, and they will know that they will not select schools that their performance do not match. A child who gets 19 will not select a school like Prempeh College. A child who gets 12 will not select a school like Wesley Girls because he knows that, and then on top pick science because she knows that she will not get the admission. That is the first thing that we need to do. The second thing that we need to do is to start, and I've said this several times, we need to start asking our ministers of education to account to us how many category A schools have they been able to create when they came into the Ministry of Education. We have around 60 to 70 category A schools over the years, and that is the same schools that people would also always want to go to have admission to. Why are ministers of education, why are leaders in the education sector not creating more category A schools? Why are we not ensuring that the other schools in category B are upgraded? Because every parent wants the child to be in a school where he feels that he's going to get quality education. So it doesn't surprise me that parents are moving in there and they want their children to be in category A school because everybody wants the child to be in a good school. So it is the duty of the leader, the manager of our education system, to make sure that schools are having the requisite resources. And when a student is taken there, the student knows that at least I'll get quality education and I'll also be somebody in the near future. So if you cannot create more category A schools, you put pressure on the little category A schools that you have. Again, there's a system of affiliation. And I remember the former Minister of Education talking about this. I've said this in some of the articles that I've written. Why are we not also affiliating schools? Let's assume like Pre-Sec should be affiliated to a school in one of these rural areas, so that when it comes to donation and resource allocation, you know that all students of Pre-Sec will definitely make sure Pre-Sec is doing well. Sometimes they get so many of the things that even sometimes they already haven't. So if you have an affiliate school, that those kind of excess resources can be now channeled to the affiliate school. There is transfer of knowledge. There is that kind of collaboration between the teachers in this category A school and that affiliate school. These are things that we can do. It wouldn't take us anything to be able to push these schools up to a certain level that we believe that it will be able to and reduce the pressure on the category A schools. So this is what we are not doing right, and I will not be surprised that we will sit down, explain the things away, and next year we'll come back to meet the same problem.
But there are many who have also said that the system, the school placement system, the system is okay. The system is fair. It does what it's supposed to do. But then the people who always want to manipulate it and get their way with it, that's what is causing the challenges that we have at the moment.
Yes, but these people report to somebody. So I don't know the people have now been sent to the CSPSS, but I know that definitely the core staff will still be there. There might be one or two changes there, but the core staff will be there. What was the experience of these core staff last year? What were the mechanisms that was put in place, or what was the briefing that was given to the new leadership, so that the current leadership would make sure that getting into school placement, we are not going to face the same problem again. It's because some people also exploit the system, as you are saying, and they get opportunities to do that and so on and so forth. So if we are able to make this thing so transparent, you don't have to wait for parents to walk to a supposed center and then you explain to them for them to understand. We need to make this thing so transparent that the parents would understand and appreciate that this is what is really going on. Because there are instances where parents are complaining that my child got this, he didn't get this school, but another child got this and he's got that school. My child did better than this person, and all these things boils down to the explanations that we will give and to make sure that the system is transparent enough for everybody to know that he is being treated fairly. If you don't do that, people will definitely troop to your center, and even though they've been placed, they will ask you to replace them.
Exactly the point, because I'm even getting a text message here from a parent who says that, Sami, how can you compare this? A student gets 305 and gains admission to Achimota against a student who chose the same program and gets 420, but then was denied admission at the same Achimota for the same program.
Exactly. So how would you explain this? Earlier on, I heard this talking to the PRO for the ministry.
Yeah.
So how will you explain this to a parent to understand? It's not fair. It is not fair. So if you have a merit-based system that you have created and there's transparency and there's fairness, then this child who got 4.0 something is supposed to be placed in Achimota than the child who got 3.0 something. And because they are doing the same program, you can't say that maybe one takes science and another person wants to do visual arts. That would have been a different situation. But if they are all going for general arts, and you are doing a merit-based system, it means that you put them on one scale. The 4 will come before the 3. So why is that person not getting that school? That is the point I'm making. There is no fairness. There's lack of transparency. People manipulate the system for their personal gains. And all these things boil down to the one who leads the system. If you are poised enough to say that this year I'm going to ensure that there is minimal complaints about school placement, and that whoever is in charge, if you are not able to do this, you are going to be fired the next day. I hope that we are going to have a very good result. But no, this is Ghana. Everybody does whatever he likes because there's no accountability in the system, and we have made parents leave their work, go and queue for a whole day. Some people are queuing for the third day to just rectify some of these things that could have been done without any headache. Nobody will be held responsible.
Doug, is the protocol system also to be blamed for what's happening?
I think that we always have a percentage for protocol. We just have to make sure that it's not abused. And I sometimes I agree with the protocol system. For example, in Cape Coast where I am, you look at Wesley Girls. Wesley Girls is situated in the community. You would definitely want the children in that community to all benefit from that particular school. So it's a fair system. Again, there are certain schools in rural Ghana that the best students will get something like 20 But he's the best student. Such a student, if you put him in any school, he is likely to excel. So you do these things for these kinds of students and situations to ensure that there's there's some equity in the placement system. So I am for that. But we should not let it be abused. It shouldn't be abused. We should make sure that the protocol is reserved for those who really need it.
Doug, finally, before I let you go, a texter is asking, is it possible we can go back to the old system where we allow the schools to choose the students themselves?
I would say that in 2025, where the manual system is 2025, where technology is the order of the day, in 2025, where artificial intelligence is taking over the world, I don't think that the best answer would be to go back to manual system. It's had its challenges, and I think that it is us who are not doing the right things. We are not using technology to solve our problems. And as I indicated earlier on, in Ghana, leaders don't solve problems, because this should be a problem that a leader in charge of education system should be targeting to solve. And I hope that next year we are not going to experience it. So we shouldn't go back. We should leverage technology to solve our problems. We should ensure that there's transparency and there's fairness. We should expand, we should increase the number of Category A schools that we have. We should introduce the affiliate system where educational resources trickle down to other schools that technically will not have. And more importantly, I propose that we should have a situation whereby students are allowed to select their schools after they have seen their BEC results.
Doug, thank you very much for your time. Dr. Peter Anti is the Executive Director of the Institute for Education Studies. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's read some of your WhatsApp messages. One says, "Good evening, Sammy. Please ask the man the man from the Education Ministry. Those who actually pass and get the required grades and marks are deliberately denied access in the name of protocol arrangement. So sad." Another one from Sami. Sami says, the man doesn't know what he's talking about. For my niece, she got a different school, but then the school placement also gave her a different school. And the only two schools available, when we went to check today, her name was not on the list. It is not true that students want Category A school. It's mandatory to choose A before we move to B. Congratulations to the newly appointed Chief Justice. We'll come to that story shortly. Kindly ask the PRO of the Ghana Education Service to explain why there's no endorsement portion on the placement form for JSS heads this year. Does it mean that the school have not? Also, your message is not clear. I'll be glad if you can bring back the message. Now, MPP is in the news. The party is vetting the 5 presidential aspirants who are hoping to lead the party go into the 2028 general election. As you're aware, the MPP said on the 31st of January 2026, they will elect a flag bearer who will lead the party go into the election of 2028. Today, the party's vetting committee vetted all 5 aspirants who want to lead the party. Let's go on to the line and speak to our colleague Charles Osu from the MPP headquarters, who has been monitoring what's happening there from morning till now. Charles, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, Sammy.
Tell us, who appeared before the vetting committee today?
Well, Sammy, all 5 of the candidates aspiring to lead the NPP into the 2028 elections were vetted today. You know, originally, the vetting was scheduled to happen between the 15th and 22nd of September. But because of the final funeral rites and burial of the late Asante Hema, the party decided to postpone the vetting. You know, the committee is chaired by Dr. Adukufo, former defense minister from the Ashanti region. So, you know, the party has its biggest fan base in the Ashanti region. So almost everybody that's anybody in the NPP was in the Ashanti region last week. So they chose to do the vetting today. So what was supposed to be a 3-day affair was all done today. So all 5 of them were vetted today. So early in the morning, Cabinet Japan was the first person to be vetted. I mean, he's not new to the process. He's been wanting to be leader of the NPP since 2007. Well, so he says that after the process, we spoke to him. He says, it wasn't any different from what he's been experiencing throughout the years that he's been wanting to lead the party. I asked him a question about asking the party to go back to its roots. For he says, yes, the party was built on a spirit of volunteerism and patriotism. So he's seeking to lead the party so that the NPP can go back to the original ideals of the founding fathers of the new patriotic party. Then after Cabinet Japan came another Japan, which is Kennedy Japan, former member of parliament for Asin Central, who contested Dr. Bawumia in the 2023 primaries and lost to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Well, I asked him about, recently he's been in the news about, he says that he's going to deploy an Asian miracle to develop the country. So I asked him to explain further. Well, say yes. He wants the government to be the one supporting the private sector, providing capital for the private sector to expand businesses and all. So he sort of explained that idea. Well, the vetting itself, he says, well, the vetting committee, they believe in what he can do. They weren't hostile to him, and they were quite friendly. And so he had no qualms about what happened with the vetting itself. And then Kennedy Japan left the scene. Then came Brian Achiampong. Now, Brian Achiampong, a British member of parliament and former agric minister, his vetting took like about an hour. On the average, all the processes took about an hour and a half, 1 hour. And then after Brian Achiampong came Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was the flag bearer for the NPP for the 2024 elections and former vice president of this country. He was grateful to the members of the committee for fruitful engagement. That's how he describes it, that the engagements were fruitful. And then finally, the 5th person that just finished with his vetting is former education minister, Dr. Yawase Aduchum, who has just concluded the process. And so all 5 of the aspirants have been vetted by the new Patriotic Party. We're now expecting the committee to put together a report and submit that report to National Council on the 29th of September.
Charles, thank you very much for your time. Charles Osugumi is my colleague here at the Citi Newsroom. He's at the MPP headquarters where all 5 aspirants who are seeking to lead the party, or the MPP going to the election of 2028, went through vetting today at the party headquarters. Let's hear from Kwabena J. Japan. He's the former general secretary of the MPP. He was vetted today by the vetting committee of the MPP.
Well, every experience is unique, it's different, but at the end of the day it went well. Of course, they wanted to know my views and my visions for this country. And as I've said, you know what I stand for. I believe that we need a new dawn in this country. We need to restore the values of service, sacrifice, and selflessness back into our society and our general body politic. We have to think broadly in a collegial way as Ghanaians, and we as political leaders have to lead by example. And I think it's time for us as a country to change course, work well for the general good, and understand that politics is about service. It's not about self, but it's about the community. So that's what I've expressed, and everything went well.
You talk about the NPP going back to its roots.
That's right.
What do you mean by that?
Those noble roots. The roots of dedication, volunteerism, hard work, one for all for one, sacrificing, and meaning well for the society. And that's what made our party very attractive. So we had a dedicated core of party patriots who were prepared to sacrifice and just work for us in 1991, 1992. So that is the kind of spirit I want to revive.
Kwabena Japan is a former general secretary of the MPP and an aspirant in the party's primaries to elect a flag bearer for the 2028 general election. Let's hear Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. He's a former education minister and one of the aspirants.
The process went very well. The vetting committee members were great. I felt very welcome. They gave me an opportunity to respond to various questions. I've shared my views with them on how we can transform Ghana. From Azim to Zabzugu, help is on the way. We will fight the war against poverty and we'll win it. We'll create a better nation than we've ever anticipated. That's what I said with them, and today I'm excited that this process is over.
Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, he is a former education minister and one of the MPP presidential aspirants. Let's hear from Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, former vice president and the MPP's presidential candidate in the 2024 general elections.
I have just been in front of our vetting committee and we have had very fruitful discussions. They've asked many questions. I have answered those questions. So I'm very satisfied with my vetting and I pray that everything is okay. I hope the committee is just as satisfied as I am. I think they will be. I am very thankful to all of you for making the time to wait for us. I want to thank the rank and file of the party, and I think from vetting we are entering the country to campaign. We are not taking anything for granted. We have to campaign very hard, sell our ideas, and sell the MPP so that we can secure this nomination and then proceed for the 2028 election.
Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, former vice president and 2024 presidential candidate of the MPP. Let's also hear Kennedy Japan, one of the aspirants who also appeared before the vetting committee today.
I enumerated a couple of points on how I'm going to address some problems. So basically, that was the interview. I know I've been through and through party member so long, so I didn't face any serious questions, or they didn't antagonize me because they know my potential already. But they asked tangible and reasonable, I would say reasonable questions. They were not hostile to me, and I was free to answer their questions.
Kennedy Ohine Japan, one of the MPP presidential aspirants. Finally, let's hear from Brian Echampo, another aspirant.
There have been a few jobs. I think there will be a couple more. We are embarking on a campaign. I mean, I will be hit. Others will be hit. It's part of the campaign. It's normal in our politics, except that wisdom must be applied for you to know the line beyond which you are infuriating somebody. That will make unity post-election difficult. But the regular jobs of pecking people's faces, I mean, those ones will happen. We just have to make sure that we don't poke the eyes, and that will become a problem.
Dr. Brian Echampo is the Member of Parliament for the Betifi constituency and one of the MPP presidential aspirants. All five of them appeared before the vetting committee of the MPP today. As where the party will be electing a new flag bearer who will lead the party going to the 2028 general election on Saturday, the 31st of January 2026. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's read a few of your WhatsApp messages. Hamdan Alasan from Nyonyo Lasau says, everyone who appears to be involved in the hate speech must be dealt with. Abronia is not above the law. Demonstration is the civil right of every citizen, and I have no problem with people exercising that right. The devil finds work for empty hands, and such is the case for those who are demonstrating. From Sir Obama in Pokwase, I commend the organizers of today's demonstration against that intimidation tactics by the security agencies. We live in a country where people who belong to the NDC were seen assaulting Hawa Kumsin and other MPP officials in Ablikuma North, but yet they were convicted and they were convicted with a meager amount. Yet Abronye, who is being charged with misdemeanor, has been remanded into police custody. Do we now have a different set of laws for the people we govern? Tomorrow is heavily pregnant. This is Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do business.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank account too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Mumu or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more, and the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, and what time when you can't park where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind says be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open it. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go! Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
The City Business Olympics is back. It's all about team building, networking, and staying healthy.
Everything, be it football, be it basketball, be it Scrabble, be it Excel, we are there. Arm wrestling, we are there.
Which game will your company participate in this year? Is it 7-a-side football, volleyball, swimming, basketball, or sack race? Rally your teammates and get ready for action.
We know we've gone on a recess, but we are back. You will feel it.
Saturday, September 27, 2025. Time 8 a.m. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex. Call 0558-973-973 to register your company today.
The experience so far has been very great. We are glad to have participated.
Let's keep fit, grow connections, and enjoy a day full of energy and excitement. The City Business Olympics 2025 is powered by City FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Side Hustle, and it's proudly sponsored by UMB Bank and supported by Bethel Logistics and Dampon Healthcare.
Your family's health should never be a worry, no matter where you are in the world. Are you a Ghanaian in the diaspora, a foreign resident in Ghana, or a Ghanaian looking for the perfect health insurance plan for yourself or your family in Ghana? Then the Apex Ebusiapa Health Cover is what you need. A comprehensive health insurance plan to protect your loved ones. From hospital stays to life-saving treatments, we ensure quality health care at an affordable cost. Apex Ebusiapa Health Cover. You don't just send love home, you secure it. Visit Apex Health Insurance at Zion House, Bondi Road, Shashi East Legon, or call 0540-128-256 or 0501-683912. Apex Ebusiapa Health Plan. Global love, local care.
The jamming never stops. The game never stops.
The productivity never stops. The music never stops. At G&J, we keep your world powered with reliable generators, solar energy, and UPS solutions, so the power never stops. Your go-to for total energy solutions, making sure you work, thrive, and live life uninterrupted. Visit our website, gjtechghana.com, or call us on 0302-689-178 or 179 or 0202-222-220. G&J, your energy partner.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inosafo. Let's settle for the details. ECOWAS member states, including Ghana, are reassuring the bloc's 0.5% community levy to address falling revenues to bolster regional financing. The levy, charged on imports from non-ECOWAS countries, has been in place for more than 18 years, but faces persistent compliance and efficiency issues. At an experts meeting in Accra, Moloku Azikwe, Director of Budget and Treasury at the ECOWAS Commission, said the review is vital to sustaining the levy as a reliable funding source for regional integration programs.
Initially, we had a community levy protocol that was adopted in 1996, but the implementation started in 2003. And after 18 years of using that protocol, in 2021, Heads of State adopted a supplementary act to that protocol. And the idea was that after using this protocol for about 18 years, they will need to, amend it, improve it, and update it to be able to address current trends in revenue collections. And so these are the two main documents that are being utilized. However, since implementation, we're witnessing a variety of non-compliance with the protocol, and we proposed the idea to the heads of state, which they approved, that we developed a manual, and the manual will provide step-by-step procedures and processes to in implementing each article of the protocol, so that there will be no ambiguity and no misunderstanding.
That was the Director of Budget and Treasury at the ECOWAS Commission, Moloku Azikwe. Now, international travel was thrown into disarray last weekend after a cyber attack on the multi-user system environment check-in and boarding platform disrupted operations at major European airports. Collins Aerospace, operator of the system, confirmed the breach, which caused widespread delays, cancellations, and flight diversions. The disruption is expected to affect connections for passengers traveling to Accra and other destinations. For Ghanaian passengers and businesses that rely heavily on smooth air links with Europe, the incident highlights the growing risks posed by cyber vulnerabilities in aviation infrastructure. The Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters says 3 foreign companies have expressed interest in off-taking the 3 million coconut seedlings scheduled for distribution to farmers nationwide. The announcement comes as farmer registration for the program continues. At a press briefing, President of the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, Davis Kwesi-Kobo, explained that the companies will be required to add value to the coconuts before exporting, ensuring greater benefits for the local economy.
And as we speak now, all these coconut seedlings, the 3 million seedlings, has already been bought. And the whole arrangement for us to be able to get an off-taker. We have 2 off-takers, big off-takers, 2 from, China, and 1 from Spain, who are ready to buy everything. So it means that the whole idea is for us to wait for 4 years and sell it to them. But how they're also going to do it? They are going to collaborate with the same office to see how best they can also help, whether they can also raise some funds to also support the office of the president is one other thing that we are still talking about. So be rest assured, like he said, it's not like the normal thing we've been doing all these years. We are also looking at adding value.
That was the president of the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, Davis Kwesi Kobo. Ghana is being urged to take timely decisions on participating in upcoming World Expos to fully harness opportunities for foreign direct investment. According to the press attaché of the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, global expos provide a vital platform for countries to showcase investment prospects and attract strategic partners across diverse sectors. There's more in the following report by Daniel Sakiti.
The remarks were made by press attaché with the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, Matthew Asada, during an event where he shared insights on America's participation at Expo 2020 in Dubai. He noted that the U.S. pavilion attracted 1.5 million visitors, underscoring how World Expos create opportunities for nations to strengthen bilateral relations, enhance nation branding, and secure commercial benefits through sideline business deals. With World Expo Belgrade 2027 and World Expo Riyadh 2030 in the offing, Matthew Asada, in a sideline interview with Citi Business News, noted that time is of essence for Ghana to make a decision on participation, stressing the potential economic gains.
Every country will have to decide, one, if they want to participate, and two, in what size and scale. And I think, again, making that determination early will be important. And so whether it's the United States or whether it's Ghana, thinking about these things systematically, and whether how many people can be reached, how many businesses can tell their story, what are our education or cultural ties. These are all some of the reasons why a country might participate. And so for Ghana, whether it's 2027 or 2030, thinking about these as opportunities to tell a story, to attract investment, to drive tourism, and to support people-to-people ties. Those are all some of the reasons about why a country would participate in an expo.
Press attaché of the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, Matthew Asada, ending that report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakiti. And that's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inusafo. Up next is Points Blank.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
We're trendy and youthful. We're UBA. We're here to make your life better, stress-free and easy. We go the extra mile, beyond your expectations. We will get it done and get it done very well now. UBA, best loans and more. UBA, best customer satisfaction. UBA, best digital solutions. UBA, Africa's global bank.
For best retail products, innovative offerings, loans made just for you, attractive interest rates, trading across Africa or sending money. If you want the best digital banking products, including chatting with you on WhatsApp and Facebook, turn to UBA, Africa's global bank.
Like a fiesta on my side, I'm all wrapped up, and all I think about is my pain. I get classic, I get bloated, I get stronger, also fruity. Golf course all night to take me longer, skin to skin, no. All I need is my extra thing, doing something, so I can find the glow up, and keep the vibe 100 with more party plans. Fiesta, fiesta, wrap it up.
Wrap it up with Fiesta condoms. Comes in 9 different variants to spice up your game. Available in any pharmacy near you.
Prevents STIs and unintended pregnancy when used correctly.
This advert is FDA approved.
Wrap it up.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow their most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509-551-609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra, and this is Point Blank. Remember, Point Blank is co-sponsored by Valix Lease Equip Limited, Valix Lease Affordable Document Management Solutions. Tonight on Point Blank, we go to the campus of the University of Cape Coast. UTech members at UCC are not happy. They are not happy with GTech. And I'll tell you why they are not happy with GTech. Now, it says the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTech, has taken drastic actions against the University of Cape Coast, blocking all government-related support and services to the institution and taking it off the list of existing universities on its portal. In a statement issued on Monday, GTech announced the immediate suspension of all major engagement with UCC, citing the university's failure to comply with directive regarding the tenure of the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Johnson Nyako Buampong. The September 22nd decision stems from UCC's disregard for a High Court injunction issued on the 8th of October 2024, which restrained the University Governing Council from taking any action on the Vice Chancellor's appointment. Despite the injunction and despite having reached the mandatory retirement age of 60, the Vice Chancellor has reportedly remained in office. As a result, GTech says it will no longer process any of UCC's requests for 1. Program accreditation, government salary subvention, get fund disbursement, research and book allowance, post-election contracts, financial clearance for recruitment, and other related administrative matters. And this, the lecturers on UCC campus who are members of UTech are unhappy with this particular move by GTech. Let's go to the phone line and speak to Dr. Jerry Opoku-Ansah. He's the president of the University Teachers Association branch of the University of Cape Coast. Doug, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening. I also thank you for having me, and good evening to your cherished listeners and viewers.
GTech says you are disregarding a High Court ruling in Cape Coast that spoke about the retirement of your Vice Chancellor and that he's still in office, and until that is done, they will continue, or GTech will withdraw certain things from the university, and this you are not happy with. Why so?
Well, thank you. As I said, UTech, UCC, we are senior local in the GTech directive that the Vice Chancellor is still at post. That is not our our business. Let me use that word, because we have nothing to do with that issue. It is sub judice. The matter is in court, and UCC as a union on campus, we have restrained ourselves from commenting on that matter. And so I wouldn't want to also talk about that first directive where they said the vice chancellor to step aside. We cannot comment on it. However, I can comment on the second one, the directive they issued, which has to do with they not processing requests for University of Cape Coast, because that affects our members as a union or as an association on campus. They are talking about our salaries, our book and research allowance, which is even overdue. It is supposed to be paid for the 2024-2025 academic year, which ended 31st July. And so members are even not happy that that money has unduly delayed. And so those, let me say, requests that GTech says they are not going to honor them, that is our worry. And we believe that in the present circumstances, we as a union, we held a meeting today, and members are very clear in their minds. They are very unhappy about that development. But they also prefer that in issues like this, the cool heads will prevail. We need dialogue and mediation in whatever they meet, so that we can have an amicable solution to whatever is ensuing on our campus.
But then they believe, GTech believes that if the right thing is not done, all the things that they have listed, which will affect you as lecturers, will also be on hold or suspended for now. And so until what they are demanding is done, you have to bear the brunt.
We as a union, the directive as GTech communicated was not directed to us. It is to the vice chancellor. And so we have nothing to do with that directive. And as I speak, lecturers, we have worked and we continue to work. We have taught. We are currently submitting our results for those who are in final year who have completed to graduate. And so for us, as far as we are concerned, the labor law and human rights and all the laws we know, we are employed, and as an employee of an association or let's say of an institution, we have worked. And so once we have worked, we know that we have to be paid. So whatever issue, whatever directive that is not being complied, it doesn't affect. It should not be transferred to us. But like I said,
so for you as lecturers, you are not being treated fairly in this matter.
Of course, this is not an issue that we can say it will be transferred to us if it is not being heeded to. We are not being fairly treated. That is the word.
Doug, tell us, how will program accreditation, the withdrawal program accreditation, affect lecturers on campus?
Well, it is GTech that accredits all institutions in terms of the programs that we run. And I know that GTech, as our regulator, knows the implications of saying that they will not accredit that, because as we speak, all programs are accredited. If a program is not accredited, they go through the process, and it's GTech that does that. And so for us, we know that we are a state institution. UCC is a state institution that is established by an act of parliament. And so we believe that, as I already indicated, whatever be the issue that is being ensuing, or that is between the vice chancellor in particular and GTech, we believe that as an association, when we sit and we talk, there will be an amicable way of resolving whatever stalemate that is occurring.
Have you had engagement with GTech?
Well, as an association, yes. Our national leadership is engaging them, and as a branch, we are making frantic efforts to rope in all our leaders, our chancellor, our council chairman, and all people or all stakeholders who matter in terms of UCC and the university in general, to make sure that we are able to resolve the issue.
Don't you think, as lecturers and UCC members, you also consider yourself as stakeholders, and so your intervention may be needed here by, also pushing from the angle of the university council to ensure that the vice chancellor is gone or step aside, so at least you can get your things that you need, and these withdrawals, as announced by GTech, does not affect you as lecturers?
It is very difficult for us as lecturers to go into that matter because we as lecturers do not appoint the vice chancellor.
But here lies the case, the decision is also affecting you as lecturers.
As I said, for me as a lecturer, I have been appointed by the council. It's not the vice chancellor who appointed me, it's the university council that appointed me. So I am doing my work as prescribed in my appointment letter. And so if there's an issue with the vice chancellor, as members of UTA, we have nothing to do with it because we cannot go and enforce the directive. We don't have any locus in that. We can't play any role in that. We can't go to chairman of council and instigate that the vice chancellor should go. We don't have any role to play in that. The university has structures that follows in terms of difficulties, in terms of situation. But as I said, the matter before us now is about law interpretation. And as I said, the matter is also in court. And so we will restrain ourselves from commenting on that matter. But as far as my members of UCC are concerned, we have work, we have to be paid. Our book and research allowance is unduly delayed, and therefore we are expecting that it will be paid. And that demands dialogue with our regulator. We sit and we talk, and then we'll find a amicable solution to the problem.
You said the national leadership has engaged, GTech, and as far as this matter is concerned, did they give you any timeline they think they can resolve it?
An engagement is continuous until you get a final decision. So it is in continuity, and we believe that before the month ends or within this week, there will be a solution to the matter.
How's the morale on campus? I mean, engagement with students, teaching and non-teaching staff. What is the general atmosphere on campus after this particular decision by GTech?
Campus is very calm as I speak. Our students, we are on break with the regular students, even though there are others who are like our medical school still running their program. But on campus, there's calm. I mean, we are all going about our normal duties. And every staff is doing what they are supposed to do to help the university and Ghana as a whole. So for us, as staff of the university, we are calm. We know these are boardroom issues, and therefore we don't give much attention to it. We know that at the end of the month, everybody must go home with his or her salary.
Doc, thank you very much for your time. Dr. Jerry Opoku-Ansah is president of UTAG University of Cape Coast. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Just a quick one. President John Dramani Mahama has nominated Justice Paul Bafoboni as the new Chief Justice of the Republic following the removal of Gertrude Tokono. The announcement was made today by spokesperson to the President, Felix Kwachi Ofosu. According to the presidency, the nomination was made in line with Article 1441 of the 1992 Constitution. His name has been given to the Council of State for consideration as a Chief Justice of the Republic. Talking about Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice, Madam Gertrude Tokono, was in the news not too long ago. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has also filed an application or a motion in court over some issues. Our court correspondent Hansen Ajima joins me in the studio to give us details about this latest application by the Honorable Attorney General.
Summit. So 2 applications have been filed. The first is an opposition to the judicial review by the former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono. The Attorney General in that application is arguing that if you look at the office of the Chief Justice is an additional judge in all superior courts in Ghana. Now, the superior courts in Ghana, we have the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and the High Court. So if you look at relevant portions within the Constitution, you see that the Article 128 will state that the Supreme Court will be made up of at least 9 judges and the Chief Justice. Article 136 will say that the Court of Appeal will be made up of the Chief Justice and 10 other justices, and also the relevant portion for High Court to state that the High Court will be made up of at least 20 justices of the High Court and the Chief Justice. So the Attorney General is arguing that the Chief Justice's membership on these benches is as a result of her role as a Chief Justice. And so if she loses that position as a Chief Justice, then she cannot be a member of these bodies. Now, he then files a second application to the High Court saying that in dealing with the judicial review application, there are certain constitutional interpretation questions that arise, and those questions should be referred to the Supreme Court. Now, if you look at our constitutional architecture, the Supreme Court under Article 130 is given exclusive enforcement and interpretation jurisdiction of the Constitution. And Article 132 says when a matter of interpretation arises at a court lower than the Supreme Court, the matter should be stayed, referred to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to interpret that question, and then the court below will now deal with the matter. So what the Attorney General's office is saying is that to adequately deal with the issue that the Chief Justice has brought to you, which is to say that if you sack me as a Chief Justice, it does not mean you sacked me as a judge, as a Supreme Court judge. You need to answer certain questions. And so 3 questions have been filed to the High Court to refer to the Supreme Court for determination. And so when the court resumes and this matter is put before the court, the AG will push this argument that the court should stay proceedings and allow the Supreme Court to handle these 3 questions first.
Hansen, thank you very much for your time. Hansen Ajima is our court correspondent. And this is where we end today's edition of Point Blank that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. Remember, Point Blank is sponsored by Valex Lease Equip Limited. Valex Lease affordable document management solution. And that's where we end today's edition of Eyewitness News that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Wiafisho, produced by Beverly London and Kwabena Wilson. So we'll come your way again tomorrow. May the good Lord be with us all.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.